with Cedric D. Sanders.
100% real, raw, and uncut. Deadass.
Hello, my name is Cedric, and along with my beautiful wife, Connie, we'll be hosting my brand new podcast. That's what I said. I'm a retired Navy veteran that suffers from PTSD and anxiety, and we'll discuss how I cope with the mental illness through comedy and discussion. It's a podcast that will talk about everything from cryptocurrency to comedy. If we're worrying about the dollar going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's still a dollar, guess what? The value of that means absolutely nothing. Cryptocurrency in itself is the future of money. From spirituality to cannabis. To have cannabis on the Schedule 1 list is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. It makes absolutely no sense. If it's a seed that can be planted and it has healing properties in it, why the hell is it in Schedule 1? Last time I checked, cocaine don't have healing property in it. From interracial relationships, I don't have a problem with people talking about interracial relationships. People try to talk bad about my interracial relationship just to think that they can get under my skin. I mean, really, it don't bother me. I mean, let's not make, call a spade a spade. But if you have a problem with someone that's in love, it shouldn't matter the race of the person. It's a mental illness in our community. The problem is people want to put labels on it. Everybody wants to put color on everything. And as soon as you put color on it, it gets treated differently. The money gets treated funny. Because if it's dealing with Asians, guess what? It's going to take a longer process unless those leaders step up and get into the president's face or U.S. leaders' face and say, this is a problem in our community. Not leaving one topic unturned. If you want to hear real, authentic conversation, interviews, and comedy, please take time to listen to That's What I Said, because I said what I said.
Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. Listen to That's What I Said. Available on your favorite podcast platform.
Y'all know what time it is. Turn up. That's what I said.
Welcome to another episode of That's What I Said with your host, Cedric Sanders. Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. The broadcast starts now.
What's good? What's good? What's good? I hope y'all are ready, as we are always ready. I hope y'all ready. Y'all need to be ready, because this one right here, this one gonna hit a little bit different, because it ain't gonna be that conversation y'all think y'all gonna have or hear from your man, the host of That's What I Said, the live podcast, coming in live right now on a Tuesday. What's good, babe?
What's good, what's good, what's good? Thanks for tapping in and tuning in on this Tuesday evening. I'm ready to jump right in.
Man, tonight I got on the merch. It's hot. It's hot to death, y'all. 4 different sweatshirts. Get one like this. The Hustle Hard one behind me. What else one I got? Something about peace,
Unity and freedom.
And CEO, comma, them zeros. You gotta be about your business to understand what that means. So peace and love to y'all, man. I hope y'all enjoying y'all Tuesday evening. I'm glad that y'all took time to join your boy here on That's What I Said, the live podcast. So Mr. Banks is in the building. What's good, Banks? So
Good, Banks.
Tonight, I need y'all to grab y'all some pen and some paper, because this right here is a conversation that's going to hit a little bit different. This is not about picking sides. This is not about my boy wearing a hoodie at 170 degrees. Let's go. So tonight is some, I guess you could say, some of my experiences to provide helpful hints and tricks and everything else. So tonight is going to be no different. So money and relationships, how to navigate finances with your partner. This is like one of the most difficult conversations that we have in relationships, due to the fact that a lot of people really don't just take time to do it. we've been conditioned. I don't care how you look at it.
There we go.
We've been conditioned. Please like and share. We've been conditioned to sit around and expect man is supposed to bring in the money and I'm supposed to take care of the house as a woman, or the man actually is taking care of the finances and everything else, and the woman don't even have to worry about it. She knows how much money he makes. He gives her money. He says, hey, what's the bills looking like? Oh, they this amount, bam. Puts that amount right there in the account, or it's already available. And he keeps it pushing. Something breaking the house, man does what he got to do. But see, we have these hybrid relationships now where you have men that want to have a relationship with their equal, meaning they want to be with someone that they love, that they know that they can provide shelter for. Because if you really think about it, that's what a man's responsibility is by taking someone else's daughter. Provide shelter, protect her, honor her, and keep her. I don't know what y'all done did to the pool. Y'all probably done pissed in it. Because some of these people out here, it's like you have to have a certain bank account or a certain amount of money to take care of their lifestyle that they can't support. Mario said he did the old school caveman way.
I was just finna say the Fred
I got my
Flintstone
wife
way.
and hit her with a stick and drug her off. I got her now. Shit, what the fuck? Got you, bitch. Hell no. But I mean, I don't know. I think y'all peed in the damn pool. Because some of these women have the expectation that a man's supposed to have six figures, supposed to have this type of income, when they don't even bring nothing to the table. They've never experienced six figures or 7 or 8 figure man. How would you know how to take care of a man like that? What, through sex? That's the only, I mean, like what? And then don't get it twisted. Men are doing the same thing to women. They want to get with an older woman because they figure an older woman is going to have the house and her house is going to be taken care of. She's just lonely and she need somebody to take care of. How the hell are you going to take care of a woman like that? Most people just think sex is the super glue to everything. It's like, oh, well, I'll just lay this down and everything is going to be okay. It doesn't work that way.
I was just about to say, I don't know what fantasy world they living in, but that's not how this shit works.
I'm truly
I'm just saying.
I'm truly convinced, and this is just me. Hope say for real. I'm convinced that people would rather play games than to take responsibility. Taking responsibility is not something they want to do. They want to establish themselves first in the household before they start taking responsibilities, so they can stay there. If they don't take responsibilities, they just know he's just there for a season, and they're gonna end up kicking him out. But if this person is really trying to play game and everything, he's gonna establish some rules and regulations to protect it, even though that's the only thing he's bringing to the table. Sex and authority. You gotta respect my authority. Like, this is not South Park, Carmen. Like, calm your ass down. I'm just thinking, not even just playing devil's advocate, it's just the truth. We gotta have these conversations about the status of how people are having these messed up relationships and then complain about the relationship they in. Most people's outlet is to write into a radio show anonymous, or write into a radio show. They'll write into the Steve Harvey morning show or, their local radio station or whatever, and send in the boohoo letter, I'm a 38, married female. I've been married to my husband for 3 years. I think he's cheating on me. Because all of a sudden his hours changed at work. But you already know. there's conversations you don't want to have because you are lonely and you just want to, salvage the relationship. So you let this undeserving ass person to just take advantage of you because you don't know yourself. So now we get into a deeper spiral to where now you didn't probably, you really have picked your poison, and now you just keep dishing this shit out, knowing that it's you have it in your mind, it's not you. But now you didn't not only invested in this person physically, you didn't invest in this person financially. And now it's like you're paying for everything that he creates when he's not even bringing nothing to the table. You want free flowers, who you want to send them to? Your ass.
Damn, Mario.
It's the facts. But people don't want to have these conversations because it's difficult to absorb and realize. Now, men, don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. You could be a very successful man with a nice job and everything, and you get with a gold digger. Somebody that doesn't appreciate you, they only appreciate the money that's coming in.
They out there.
It's like, oh, you married, but y'all don't have sex. Let me sip on this bourbon real quick. Yeah, you ain't having sex though. You have this innate, just situation that's going on in your life to where you feel like, oh, it's okay. I'm gonna tolerate this. It is what it is.
There we go.
I'm just gonna tolerate this. But then you never acknowledge the fact that you're just allowing this person to treat you like shit. And you're only giving her the money or all this other shit that you're doing, all because you want a placement in her life. It's the other way around, homeboy. She done got her placement in your life so much to the point where she can manipulate you and have whatever she wants. Yet, you still mad because you ain't really met her family. You mad because she says she got kids, but they only been into the house 2-3 times. I'm not feeling that, bro. I mean, it goes into either deeper situations that we have that's going on in our, I guess, spectrum of understanding when it comes to people saying they haven't screwed up relationships. Some of these people are having these relationships on purpose. I'm sorry. Y'all know that people have these conversations with nobody. Who are they talking to? I mean, we have this deep heated relationship with judgment. We could judge people but not help them. Yet we know people are doing this shit on purpose. They having these relationships on purpose. They getting in relationships with people that have a goal and a dream.
There we go.
No money to get there. No financial backing to get there. A money and a dream. So you said, I'm going to invest in his money and his dream because I believe in him. Let me sip my water when I say this. What did they support you on? Besides the bed. What did they support you on? Have a real conversation with yourself before you get in these stuck relationships that ain't going nowhere. Ain't going nowhere. You just having this wonderful idea of, oh, it's okay to have this relationship, but I'm settling for some shit. You know what I'm saying? you're settling for what you possibly could have. Somebody that can appreciate you, that will listen to you. You won't get into these financial situations if you actually have a partner that is wanting to accomplish the same financial goals you do. Not saying that dreams don't come true, but what I'm saying is if you don't have a dream with action, it's a fantasy.
I think this is the perfect time for the first quote during the podcast.
Better go ahead and do that then.
Because right, backing up what you just said about just basically having a hope and a dream and just settling and just not having the conversation about the financials. This quote comes from Michelle Singletary at Invest Diva. Money may not buy love, but fighting about it will bankrupt your relationship.
I'm not gonna lie. Money, I have to admit, most relationships that have a good conversation or relationship with money, they end up happier because they're never fighting about the one thing that they feel like they can't fix. Anytime you have an argument, it's always a disagreement where one person wants to fix it, where the other person is just acknowledging how fucked up the situation was. It's never just like a pure, like, let's fix this immediately. No, somebody wants to be right while the other person is in damage control mode. I don't want to see this explode, so how do we fix this? No, you disrespected me. It's like...
Because finances in relationships is probably one of the hardest things that they have to discuss. Because whether you're coming in to the relationship with financials, excess baggage,
Right.
i.e. a lot of debt, and the other individual may have some or may have just about the same.
Right.
So when you're coming into that relationship, you have to know what each other has going in so that you can have common ground on, okay, how do we get rid of this? What's our starting point? What's our end point? So that we can make sure that all this is taken care of, and then we can focus on these other goals that we've established or we're trying to set for ourselves.
So I'm playing devil's advocate. So you're already going in with the mindset that we're a team.
Yes, that's the way it should be.
But how you have to have that conversation, like,
right? I mean, that should be discussed. I mean, if y'all are getting married or are married.
No, I'm not even saying that, babe. That's a conversation that should happen before the conversation of marriage comes up.
Well, yes, true.
Like,
I mean, if you're having a truthful, being open, honest relationship and being transparent with each other.
I mean, absolutely. But I think
you have to know all the baggage.
See, I like, yeah, that's true. You really do.
You gotta know the baggage.
Let's not even negate that. You're right. But what I'm trying to say is I think when we have relationships, most people are not, well, I can't say most people. I will say this. We as men have this innate ability to only want to date two types of women. A woman that's beautiful, sexy, got her shit together and everything else. Or a woman that you know is sexy and fine and she knows that you are too. Y'all into each other, but y'all just never really had the conversation. So it's always been I wonder if. But you never had these conversations about where your head is at financially. What are your plans? Where do you see yourself in life? What is your short-term goals? What are your long-term goals? People don't have these conversations. No. All they want to do is sit around and like, what you doing tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I would just come over.
Yeah, things definitely have changed over the last, 20 years.
I'm not saying that relationships are like that now. I'm just saying people be bitching about that shit. And it's like, you got to have goal-oriented ideas or just goal-oriented mindset. And I love what, Jay has said in here.
Yeah, I was just going to go to that.
It's like one of the most, one must change their perspective, AKA their mindset, and know that it's okay to ask the hard questions in the beginning.
Right. Because those are things that you should want to get out in the beginning so that you know what you're getting into. And Mario, I cannot.
I'm laughing, y'all, because these comments are lit today.
They are.
My brother Mario, we was in the military, we was in the Navy together, and this dude is funny as I don't know what. He was like, show me the whole facts and the credit score. He ain't never lied. The conversations you have prior to even going down that road, no, I need the last either 4 relationships you've been in. I need to know which one, not out of those relationships, just relationships, period, did you have that was one that you still stuck on emotionally, have some insecurities from it, and still deal with it. This is like part of the questionnaire. Like, no bullshit. You can ask Connie. Like, this is a conversation we had on the porch, like, not even the first week was even talking about being in a relationship.
Like the third day.
Like the third day, yeah. And she in tears.
Well, I was being honest.
Like, how in the hell is he whole faxing me right now? He is literally telling me or making me realize what I did and what's possibly could happen while your mindset is still the same, even though you say, I'm going to change because I got hurt. No. You got to remember what happened when you first got out of a relationship beforehand.
Right.
All that stuff leads up to who you are today. You can't clean that up. That's still fresh in your mind. So it's, to me, getting into these relationships and not being transparent with your partner, finances is always going to be a conversation you can't have. If you're fighting the conversations you're only having with someone because you don't want to get hurt again, but yet you see future with this person, you got problems. It's like right away you want to hold the secret like you're a superhero and you don't want to tell them, you're from Krypton. Just like, damn, why come you just can't tell people you're Superman, baby? What's the problem? Why such the secret? You got to not be so sensitive. And money is a sensitive topic.
Facts.
I mean, you have to stop being sensitive. I kind of talked around it to get to this point. Money is a very sensitive topic. I mean, you have to be wanting to have a very open, and honest conversation with your partner about the financial situation and not talk about goals so much, but talk about what the current situation is. You need to know this is the State of the Union at your dinner table.
State of the Union at the dinner table.
Y'all have to bring.
Damn.
Y'all have to sit there, bring the budget and all that shit.
Yeah.
And literally, when y'all budget, I say y'all because it shouldn't be one person budgeting and the other person just spending money like as soon as it comes in. Because you pay her to go shopping so she can stay current in the trends while you're living in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Did you just say pay her to go shopping?
That's what it is, ain't it?
Oh, shoot.
That ain't what it's called? Did I have a slip of the tongue?
I'm just trying to wrap my head around.
I don't think I did. If you
pay you to go shopping so you could stay current. Ooh,
I mean,
shit.
how are we having these relationships where you feel like the man's supposed to give you a amount of money so you can go spend shopping? If you go out with your girls, you expect this man to pay for y'all drinks. You got to have this type of car, live in this kind of house, but you don't know how to manage none of that damn money he making.
Yes, some of these females got it jacked up in the mind, because I don't know.
Don't get it twisted. It's men like that too.
I, I was just about to say, I'm sure there's some men out there too, but I know for me, that ain't how my mindset is. That's not how I was raised. So that doesn't go in my vocabulary
Right.
at all.
Well, I've had this conversation long enough, so let's go down through the list of my top 6.
Oh, do we want to drop the last quote before you?
Yeah, let's drop the last quote.
Start
because-
the.
Let's
start
start.
the-
Yeah, let's start the last quote because I want to go down a rabbit hole with this one.
Okay. So the last quote is, "Marriage is a partnership, and couples can't win with money unless they're doing the budget as a team."
So this
Dave
conversation,
Ramsey.
that's from Dave Ramsey. Okay, well,
Sure is.
damn. So I'm gonna have this conversation based off of my experience, and this is the 6 reasons that you should, in my opinion, how you can navigate with finances. So the first thing, of course, we already talked about it. You got to talk about it. You got to be open and honest about it. That gives you a very even playing field when it comes to both you guys building. You allow yourself to get in a very comfortable space, and you have to be transparent, like, period. It's like you literally have to be transparent about what's going on in your current financial situation, especially if you're living together or going to make a decision to live together, or the topic has come up. That conversation absolutely needs to happen. And it's not about, oh, I'm making way better money than him, but I'm just doing dumb shit with it. I need to get my stuff together so I can try to help him out because he needs some help and I really want to help him. Or vice versa, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe that's all that person needs is a little help to get out of a situation that, regardless of how they got there. Gotta stop judging. The next one is you got to make financial goals together. And I talked about this previously when it comes to budgeting and things of that nature. But you have to set goals together, and setting those goals gives you a common goal that you both are working on. Because you know that if you can't make these goals, then what's going to happen? You can't get to the final goal or some other sequent goal that you need to get to. Create a budget together. Absolutely. That is I think one of the biggest things that even Dave Ramsey just said, you have to do. Even if this person doesn't bring in, per se, an income, and you guys have a great relationship, budget still should be discussed. Because at the end of the day, if you with somebody that's taking your money from you, why the hell are you with them? Like, too many people are holding secrets and scared to, I guess, discuss money because of the fear of it being stolen from them. It's like, why are you in these relationships? Stop settling for people that you still have questions about.
I think a lot of people, and in my own opinion, I'm not saying that this is facts or anything like that, but I think, in my own opinion, a lot of people don't like to discuss the finances or whatever because they feel like they're losing control. There's a control factor with the finances and where the money is going or whatever. They don't want someone, their significant other or whatever to know, oh well, if we don't talk about the finances or whatever, they're not gonna know how much I'm over here spending on Amazon or whatever, like they may have some secrets about where their money's going that they don't want to discuss.
I get that, but I also get the fact that to me that's full of shit, because you can't want one thing and shit in the other. You can't want to be in a relationship, but I'm not going to talk about my habits of spending or my gambling problem or this, that, the other. It's like, I'm not going to have this discussion. So it's like you'd rather mess up a relationship because you have an addiction to whatever it is than to really just build an income to where, you know, you like doing this. So once you put some money to the side, if you have it, budget, you know, $20 or $30 or something that you can put to the side. And when it builds up to an amount that you want to go gamble off, you can go fuck that money off.
Yeah.
Because you didn't budget it out. But don't budget money that's taking, you know, everything out of the household to where the family can't take care of themselves. That's just dumb as hell. So the next one is controversial. And as always, when I go down controversy lane, I got to bring this up. I have to go down the rabbit hole. Deep in the rabbit hole. So we creeping in the damn rabbit hole tonight. This next part, the fourth one, is a doozy. In some relationships, the discussion that needs to happen is about money. But one of the things that kind of make the whole situation of money weird is everybody's mindset. And I'm glad Jay in the beginning of, you know, when we was going through our dialogue said that about, you know, you have to be willing to change your mindset. You have to be willing to change their perspective when it comes to money. When you go into a partnership, a lot of people say when you get into a relationship or a marriage, it's a business and you have to treat it as such. I don't necessarily say yes to that, and I don't necessarily say no to that. The reason being is because you both want to be successful with what you both bring to the table. It's not about this one person's success because of how much money they're bringing in and how much other success this other person is bringing in. No, it's the success that you guys can create together. So this next piece to the puzzle is controversial in a sense. Do you decide to split expenses? And the reason why I say it's controversial because a lot of people have these conversations saying that the man should take care of the woman and he should pay all the bills and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Where you have relationships that says, you stupid as hell. We both work. We sit there. Our money goes into one account. We know how much the mortgage is. We know how much this is. We know how much this is. Or you get paid and a certain amount of money goes into the account for the household expenses. So it's like, are you budgeting? Is it half and half? Is it, you know, dividing expenses based on your income? Or does it take turns? Somebody takes turns paying, you know, stuff off. What is it? And what's the best method for, you know, any couple? This is the reason why it's controversial because a lot of people don't want to think smarter. They just want that person to work harder. I want this house, so you need to figure it out how we gonna get in. Bitch, go back in your apartment. You're not about to stress me out talking about what kind of house you want to live in when you don't bring shit to the table but some ass and some headaches. No, I'm out. I'm good. This is the diluted answer to that. And I say diluted because, you know, I don't like to make my podcast long. But this is the diluted. The best way, I think, when it comes to splitting expenses, and I'm done. To me, the best way for all of this to happen and for it to, you know, massage into something that works is you're transparent about, you know, what money goes in the bank, whatever. Rather your wife works or she doesn't work or whatever, you definitely have to have an account or money that she can access. There's just things that a man just can't do. I'm not saying that you can't do it, but if man is a hardworking man. He brings in the bread, and he's bringing in close to 6 figures a year, or 6 figures a year, or over that, or close to whatever. And they're in a comfortable position financially and credit wise where they can completely live off that one income. Then who's the judge?
Right.
But if you're both working and you both have income coming in, I'm not buying groceries. I refuse. Exactly. Some men, no, I'm not going to the grocery store unless I got to get a 40. But I think some people don't want to have, that's my dog sniffing. Sneezing. Sorry. So I think people don't want to have this conversation, and it's hard to have this conversation when you're dating somebody. It's like you don't figure these things out until after the fact. And to me, this is not an after the fact type of situation. This situation is like you already know what you're getting into. So what are my tips on how to make better decisions when it comes to finances? I'm going to tell you 2 tips. Don't listen to everybody else. And do what works best for you. And what I mean by don't listen to everybody else, I'm not saying that you can't get great tips from other people, but don't take the first tip that you hear as gospel. Actually think about it and write it down. Is this something that can work for me? Can I actually make this work with that? Either the spending habits you have or the things that you need to take care of financially.
And don't go to Google University.
Please don't. Please don't, because that's the basics. The basics, they're going to tell you the basic spending. Live within your means, blah, 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 blah. If you make this amount of money, you can afford this size house. Okay, that's great. I want this size house. So how do I get to that size house? And it's not much different than the house that you're talking about, except for it's $100,000 more. Now, how do I get to that house? And it's only this amount of money. And I know I can survive because my car is paid off. This is paid off. I don't have credit card. I do, but I don't use them. Blah, 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 blah. It's like you don't want somebody to go into a house that they really want to go into, but they really can't afford the repairs of that house. You want somebody that's going to be able to not only buy a house, but build equity into that house. So then if they made a decision to sell that home and go into a newer home, and because they made profit off the other home, say you made $100,000 profit off that home, and then you're going into another home, and most people, unless you're military, you don't have a down payment, but some people's down payment is $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, whatever. You can use that whole $100,000 into the same amount house that you was just in, which means your mortgage is going to be cheaper.
Right.
You pay the same mortgage that you paid in the old house in the new house. You're not adjusting anything, but you're saving more money because your APR is lower and your mortgage is lower. So you're probably sending more than your mortgage payment, which is perfectly fine. Say your mortgage is, say, $2,100 and you're able to up it another $1,000. So instead of, you having what did I say? 2,100?
Yeah, you said 2,100.
Yeah, 2,100. You're paying 3,100 a month. That knocks off a bunch of your principal. It adds so much to your equity.
And helps you pay off the house faster.
Facts. Because, it's going to the principal.
Because typically the mortgage for a home is 30 years.
Yeah.
Depending on the years that you choose. You can choose a 15-year mortgage, but most people go with a 30-year because it lengthens the loan, but it also lowers the cost of what you pay monthly.
Right. So to me, the best tip is don't listen to everybody's advice until you actually do some homework on it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The next two are kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say duh. The next one is kind of duh because it's part of the first one, being open and honest. But or talking about it and being open and honest. So it's talk about your financial past. You have to give that pass to your partner so they know your habits. Some people just don't want to be in a relationship with you because you're bad with money. Because some people actually want to build an empire and want to be successful and want to have things to where when they get older, they don't have a lot of bills. They got the home that they want to die in, and all the great grandkids can come over there. And when they're 80 years old and can barely go up and down the stairs, the grandkids are enjoying the house because you got a damn 6-bedroom house and all of them got a room to themselves. And they ain't got to look and see each other. But when it comes to dinner time, they will sit there and fellowship with each other. But see, we can't even have that conversation because people don't do that no more. Anywho, you have to talk about your financial past. Your financial past is going to give you more ammunition when you go into this last step. And this last step is, I think, vital. Be able to seek help from a professional if you need to. If you need to talk to a therapist or you got to talk to a financial advisor, do it. Why not? Learn it yourself. Learn it yourself and then do the changes and then reap the rewards of it because you're living in a better situation, but then get to the point where you can be a coach and coach a target audience of people that really want to help and really want to be able to be guided. Because some people just be like, I fix credit. That's a hustle for them. They don't know shit about it. Some people, like, no bullshit. It was like, I fix credit. Oh, you do? So you send the letters in and everything? Yep. And blah, blah, blah. Okay, you're a cut and paste person. You just found this shit from whatever university you went to, cut and paste, and you hustle money. That's okay. I'm not, that's, what do they call it?
Not knocking the hustle, but.
Yeah, I'm not knocking the hustle. I'm really not. But there's professionals that know the laws.
Right.
And if they have a package deal where I can get a whole bunch of other stuff and take care of my credit, I'm going to pay a membership for that. And that's not a bill. It's an investment because I can pay that money. They're working on the credit on one end. I'm taking care of my finances and able to, budget and do all these things. But I'm understanding my dynamic situation. And my wife knows my dynamic situation because we're doing this together.
Right.
You have an advisor that you can talk to. You have an advisor that's educating you on how to make smart money moves. If y'all are not doing this, how are you ending generational curses? By selling weed? But you can't sell weed all the time.
Right.
Hustling on the streets? Stealing shit from people? Or you got a decent job and you got a habit.
Yeah, and that monthly membership, is a great tool of investment, not just for your own self, but for your family.
Right.
It doesn't stop and start with you. It's helping you be able to get through whatever you need to get through to be able to live in the legacy.
Absolutely.
Not just leave it.
Absolutely. So, anything for the people before we get up out of here and I recap?
I think the only thing I have for the people is just don't be afraid to have the conversation. I know that it may take some time to have that conversation if you're not certain or comfortable with yourself of having the financial conversation with your significant other. But make sure you set aside time to have that conversation so that you both are on the same page and know what you're going for in the future, and write those goals down together. Ced talked about it. Do it together. That's all I got. Peace and love.
So to summarize everything that we talked about tonight, it really is just communicating, being open and honest is like key. If there's nothing else you remember about this podcast, please remember that. Be open and honest, and honest with these conversations when it comes about money. Make financial goals together. You know what I'm saying? Create a budget together. Have a money mindset. Be open to the idea that if things don't work out, you got to set a budget. I mean, not set a budget, but you have to actually, talk to a financial professional. But even before that is discussing the split, talking about your financial past, and then, if it comes to a point you got to talk to a financial professional, you got to do it. So I don't want people to feel like, you have to be the smartest person in the room when it comes to finances. You really don't. You really don't. It's just educating yourself to the point where you make better financial decisions is key. Hopefully in the next couple of months, I will have a subscription, more like consultations, where I can be a financial coach to people and give them the ideas and the tools that's going to help them financially if they stick and be strict with themselves. You have to be strict, and you have to just stick to all the tasks and the goals. If I can get that launched, it's going to take place June or July, more likely July. And we will have all these things available. I want people to realize that, you don't have to be institutionalized to believe that money's bad, or you're just stuck in a situation where you don't make a lot of money. And people that make money, are selfish, or why is this person rich? They don't give back to the community. It's like all these things that people should do to what? Suppress you from not doing the great things you could be doing? No. Have these difficult conversations. Make dreams happen with your money and not nightmares. With that being said, y'all, that's what I said with another episode. Please like, share, follow me on all platforms. Anything that's on social media, that's what I said. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm really, and I keep saying this, but it's actually a true statement, I'm going to transition off Facebook and solely be doing YouTube videos. So in order for you to catch the live podcast, it will only be on YouTube. I'll share it on all social media, but I got to go to YouTube. The analytics is, I keep saying this, the analytics is trash. So with that being said, y'all, peace and love. I'm going to holler at y'all on Thursday, because yes, I'm doing a podcast on Thursday. Peace and love. Y'all know what it is. We out. Peace.
That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.